Hi guys, cinematic recap here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I'm gonna explain an American science fiction and drama movie, called Alita, Battle Angel. In 2563, 300 years after the Earth was devastated by the catastrophic war known as the Fall, there is a sky city called Salem. Meanwhile, scientist Dr. Dyson Ito discovers a disembodied female cyborg with an intact human brain while scavenging for parts in the massive scrapyard of Iron City, just below the Sky City. He decides to take the cyborg home to repair her. At home, Dr. Dyson attaches a new cyborg body to the brain. A few days later, the cyborg wakes up and she is amazed to see her new body. She immediately goes downstairs to see Dr. Dyson, who has finished repairing the local cyborgs for free. After that, Dr. Dyson invites the cyborg to have a meal together. As they eat, it is revealed that the cyborg cannot remember her past and she has also forgotten her own name. Dr. Dyson asks her to look around. The cyborg is instantly dumbfounded after seeing Salem floating above the clouds. Dr. Dyson then names her Alita after his deceased daughter. He explains that Iron City was founded because many humans live by scavenging the technological waste that is thrown away by Salem. Iron City is also governed by Salem officials and no one can enter Salem except to become the champion of the motorball, a rollerball-like racing sport played by cyborg gladiators. Later, she befriends Hugo, a young man who dreams of moving to the wealthy Sky City of Salem. He is impressed by Alita's cyborg body because everyone in the city admires Dr. Dyson. On the other hand, it seems that Alita also likes Hugo at this moment. At night, there is a woman walking alone in the hallway. Suddenly, something that looks like a robot kills her from behind. At the same time, Alita wakes up from her sleep and peeks at Dr. Dyson, who just comes home with a wound on his hand. The next day, Alita accompanies Dr. Dyson and his assistant to repair a cyborg. The cyborg discusses the murder case that happened last night. He says that the killer mutilated the victim's body to sell. As a result, Dr. Dyson advises Alita not to go out at night because Iron City is very dangerous. As Alita walks out of her house, she meets Chiron, who recognizes Alita's cyborg body. Apparently, she was Dr. Dyson's estranged ex-wife. It is revealed that Chiron has been wanting to go to Salem with the help of Vector, owner of the motorball tournament. Therefore, she persuades Dr. Dyson to create the best cyborg with her to win the motorball. However, he refuses the persuasion. An annoyed Chiron leaves him straight away and gets into a car with Vector in it. Meanwhile, Alita and Hugo play motorball with their friends. At first it is difficult for her to play the game, but over time she gets used to it and eventually she is able to win the game. Hugo buys her a chocolate as a present. Then he takes her to his favorite spot above an old church to get a good look at Salem. Alita also says that she was found by Dr. Dyson in the scrapyard under Salem, which means she might be from Salem, but she still cannot remember anything about it. One night, Alita fails to fall asleep because she notices that Dr. Dyson is leaving the house quietly while carrying a large suitcase. She decides to follow him to find out where is he going in the middle of the night. Shortly after, Alita sees him taking out his weapon from the suitcase to ambush a woman who is walking alone. Because of that, Alita immediately stops him from committing murder, causing the woman to disappear somewhere. Suddenly, a large man appears from behind and he calls Dr. Dyson a hunter-warrior, which confuses Alita even more. After that, another man jumps down from the rooftop and begins threatening the two of them. Turns out they are a gang of criminal cyborgs who like to kill humans, including the woman who disappeared earlier. Dr. Dyson begins to attack the cyborg, and manages to cut off one of his arms, but the cyborg is able to strike back right away, knocking Dr. Dyson to the floor. Amazingly, Alita jumps towards the cyborg and kicks him to the ground, killing him in the end. Now is the time for the female cyborg to attack Alita using her blades. Eventually, Alita also manages to jump towards the cyborg and kicks her right on the head, breaking her neck as her body drops on the ground. The large man finally reveals that his name is Grushka and immediately tries to punch Alita using immense power. But then again, Alita is able to dodge it and cuts off the cyborg's arm in a single kick. The giant cyborg is forced to escape into the sewers after Alita knocking him backwards using Dr. Dyson's hammer. Afterwards, Alita goes with Dr. Dyson towards the factory. He explains that there are no police in Iron City, but the factory that pays bounty hunters to kill criminals. She then wonders why Dr. Dyson wanted to participate as the bounty hunter, but he explains that his daughter was killed by the dangerous criminal. Since then, he tries to find the man who is responsible for his daughter's death. His desire to avenge his daughter is also the reason why his wife, Chiron, left their marriage. When Chiron wakes up from her bed, suddenly Grushka breaks into her room through the window. It turns out that he works for Chiron and also Vector. Grushka reports that Dr. Dason has adopted a cyborg girl and she is responsible for killing his entire team. Chiron tries to repair Grushka straight away, but at the same time he is controlled by another great power who speaks through him to Chiron and Vector. Vector immediately recognizes the power as Nova, a powerful figure from Salem, who orders them to kill Alita and bring her body for experimentation. Nova also controls Vector and promises Chiron to bring her back to Salem if she does exactly what he says in the future. Meanwhile, Alita goes with Hugo to the motorball where they can see the fighters in the ring destroy each other using their respective skills to obtain the ball. She also learns that a fighter can become the final champion by beating everyone continuously, and the final champion is given the privilege of going to Salem. In the middle of their conversation, Hugo's friends suddenly come and say that they have some urgent work. Therefore, Hugo says goodbye to Alita and rushes off in a hurry. After a while, one of the motorball champions is attacked by a group of men and he is held hostage in the vehicle, where they cut off the champion's hand by force. It is revealed that the group's leader is Hugo, who also works under Vector as he supplies weapons while receiving cash in return. The group leaves the champion's body with Vector, saying that he cannot let anyone be the final champion, killing him at the end. The following day, Hugo and his friends bring Alita away from Iron City to a lake in front of a very large warship. It turns out that the warship is from United Republic of Mars, who attacked the Earth 300 years ago. On the other hand, Alita feels a sudden connection towards the warship and tries to go inside, hoping it may reveal the truth about her past. She arrives at the weapon room where she finds a highly advanced cyborg body. She decides to bring the body towards Dr. Dason. She wants him to combine her with the new body because it will allow her to fight off the impending threats. However, Dr. Dason refuses to install her in it. As the result, Alita feels frustrated and she registers herself as a hunter warrior. At the Kansas bar where all the hunters are gathered, Alita and Hugo are unable to recruit other hunter warriors to help her take down Grushka. However, a cyborg hunter warrior bully named Zappin provokes Alita. Therefore, she severely beats him in a fight, triggering a chaotic bar brawl. Luckily, Dr. Dason arrives at the bar and stops everyone by threatening to not give out any free repairs. Suddenly, an upgraded Grushka appears and challenges Alita to a duel, revealing that he has been sent by Nova to destroy her. Despite her excellent combat skills, Alita's body is ultimately damaged by Grushka. Fortunately, Dr. Dason and his team arrives just in time, forcing Grushka to retreat again. Dr. Dason takes Alita back to the laboratory. He apologizes and transplants her into the new cyborg body. The results are better than expected, as Alita demonstrates incredible abilities after she equipped the new body, which also amazes Dr. Dason. Meanwhile, Nova possesses Vector once again to see that Grushka has failed to defeat Alita. He decides to implement a different strategy against her. After that, Vector meets with Hugo and asks him about Alita by promising to send him to Salem if he succeeds in convincing Alita to join Motorball. The next morning, Hugo convinces Alita to join Motorball, stating that she can make enough money for both of them to go to Salem. Alita agrees without thinking as she has fallen in love with him. On the other side, Zappin is watching them from afar because he wants revenge for what she did earlier. At night, Alita prepares to join the tryouts with the help of Dr. Dason, who tells her to be careful in the tournament. At the same time, Vector tells other fighters to destroy Alita and promises to give them a large amount of money for the killer. When Alita arrives at the stadium, she realizes something is wrong about the other fighters. She rushes away from the others as they begin to attack her and chase her from behind. Fortunately, she is able to dodge the attacks and incapacitate several fighters. However, they keep chasing after her, ignoring the entire game. Meanwhile, Hugo's relationship with Alita leads him to decide to quit his criminal job. He confronts his partner to stop killing people, but unfortunately Zappin appears and wants to kill him in order to take vengeance on Alita. He kills one of the cyborg and frames Hugo for the murder of another cyborg. Hugo desperately tries to escape from Zappin and finally arrives inside a bridge. He calls Alita for help, telling her that he runs away to the church and asks her to meet him there. Alita hears this and quickly rushes outside the stadium while being chased by the other fighters. Long story short, Alita is able to escape the attackers and arrives at the church just in the right time. She immediately stops Zappin from killing Hugo, but she becomes shocked after she sees a bounty on Hugo's head. Hugo tries to explain that he was framed, but Alita is still hard to forgive him. Using the opportunity, Zappin stabs Hugo in the stomach, causing Alita to cry and carry him into the church. Hugo feels sorry for everything he did as he realizes that he loves Alita more than his desire to go to Salem. In the meantime, Charon, who has changed her mind about working for Vector, arrives at the church and offers to help save Hugo by attaching his severed head to Alita's life support system. A few moments later, Alita comes out while carrying Hugo's head. When Zappin sees through the trick and attempts to stop Alita, she seizes his blade and injures him in the face. Back in Dr. Dayson's place, he transplants Hugo's head onto a cyborg body and tells Alita that Vector's offer to help Hugo reach Salem was a lie. He believes that the citizens of Iron City cannot enter Salem without becoming a motorball champion. Soon, Alita storms the factory and confronts Vector. He immediately summons Grushka to stop her attack, but Alita's new nanotech body allows her to self-repair and easily destroy him. Afterwards, she demands Vector to show her Nova. When Nova threatens to harm her family and her friends, Alita kills Vector in anger and warns him not to underestimate her. After a while, she receives a message from Dr. Dayson who tells that Hugo has fled to climb a cargo tube towards Salem. Alita runs into him immediately and pleads with him to return with her because this is a trap that Nova has set for both of them. He eventually agrees, but it is too late as a serrated defense ring dropped by Nova rushes towards them. He tries to jump over the ring, but sadly it shreds his body and throws him off the tube. Alita is able to catch him in the moment, but she cannot pull him up as his arm begins breaking apart. Hugo thanks her for saving his life before falling to his death. Months later, after Hugo's death, Alita continues to battle in Motorball, becoming a rising superstar in the tournament. She goes to the stage where everyone is cheering for her name and pledges vengeance by pointing her plasma-charged sword toward Salem, whereupon Nova looks back at her from above. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.